In this position, we cannot allow the black player to go to h8, otherwise that's going to be a draw because we can't remove him from h8 with the pawn in h7. So the right move now to play is bishop to h7. This stops the black player from going to g8, so it's controlling a key square. Black also can't go to g7, and so the king now will have to move around, but nothing stops us from just going up with our king and then eventually just force the king away. Not after king to g6 here, then there's just no access anywhere. The king will have to go away and we're going to promote. This is a beautiful puzzle. The best move by white now, well, okay, white wants to promote, right? But the black king is in the square, so you can't push the pawn. White has to control the key squares, b6 and c7 with the knight, and the best move is knight to d5. Notice how the black player in this case can't give a check to the white players. That's important. Now that these two squares are under control and b7 is also under control, the black king can't move anywhere. Black could either move the knight, but then it just gets taken, or just move the king. Well, you can't move the king anywhere up without leaving the square, and then white will promote. And of course, taking the knight will also get him out of the square. In this position, we have something very similar to before. We want to push the pawn in h7, but the black king is in the square. Here we can protect the square g6, either from d5 or from e8. It's important, but you have to be accurate here. Bishop d5 is not good. Yeah, you are controlling these two squares, but the black player will be able to go up. So the best move here is bishop to e8, stopping the king both from g7 and f7, g6 and f7. So important control of the key squares. The king can't go to g7 either, and we're going to promote. This puzzle is great. It really points out the importance of controlling the key squares. At the moment, the black king can't move anywhere except f7. So the best move for white is knight to d6, which controls f7. And the funny thing is that white player will win this game because of these two pawns. So nothing stops these two pawns from going up and eventually just trade with this bishop and promote. Black king can't move anywhere. This pawn isn't bothering us. This pawn isn't bothering us either. The rook will never get out of there. So right now it's basically white has two pieces against one piece because this rook is never going to play. And also we got two passed pawns. In this position, it's crucial to play bishop to d7. We want to be able to push the pawn to the h file all the way up, but the black player is threatening to play king e3 and then go to the h file and then stop here in h8 where we will never be able to promote. It's a well-known drawn position. So after king e3, how to continue? h4, and after king e4, stopping our king from advancing, for example, but also making a move towards h7, h5, and after e5, king to e5, going on the dark diagonal, h6, king f6, and now you know the concept of the control of the key squares. g7 is controlled. We just have to control g6 and h7 so that the black king cannot get into this small square. So bishop to e8 is the winning move. In this puzzle, the black player is about to use the rook to attack the bishop and basically make a fork and take the pawn, or at the very least stop us from promoting. So the control that we need to apply now is over the square c5. So the black rook cannot go to c5, and so the best move now is bishop to b4, controls this square. The black player cannot reach that square with the rook. Now it looks like the black player can just make another move to reach, for example, this rank and then check the king and the square c8, but like none of them works. Rook to g5 is not going anywhere because of the king. Rook to f5 is not going anywhere because of the bishop. Rook to e5 is getting pinned by the bishop, and then rook to, well, b5 is just allowing the pawn to keep going forward. a5 is not accessible, and then rook to d5 again, it's just allowing the pawn to go forward.